Hello dear students, welcome to the lecture 1 of the computer network subject. As we have already discussed in the introductory video about the text and the reference books that we are going to use in this subject, the main focus that we are going to give during this subject will be on the Frozen 4th edition data communication and networking book, which is your main textbook. In this lecture, we will be going to traverse through the understanding of the topic communication. Our main focus will be toward analyzing and understanding the communication to achieve networking. We will be realizing the human voice communication to understand the data communication, and further, we will also discuss the detailed concept of the networking. To begin, let's dive into the world of networking. To start today's lecture, we will be referring the most common terminology, communication. So what is the communication? So in simplest form, a communication is the method of exchange or transfer of information from one point to other. That means a communication is the mechanism of exchange of information between two parties. Now, if the two parties are able to exchange the information, that means they are achieving the communication. This also implies that if communicating parties are able to exchange information, then they must be in a connected state, because disconnected parties can never exchange anything under any circumstances. So if these two parties are exchanging information with each other, that means they must be in a connected state. There are several variants of communication. For example, voice communication, data communication, mobile communication, satellite communication, and etc. So if we define what a voice communication would be, so we can easily say that a voice communication is the exchange of information between two humans. That means we are exchanging voice, and voice is exchanged between two humans. So a voice communication is the exchange of information between two humans. Similarly, if we want to define the data communication would be defined as the exchange of information between two devices. Mobile communication can be defined as the exchange of information between two mobiles. Satellite communication is the exchange of information between two satellites. So what we do, we will take the concepts of voice communication, and we will try to analyze the data communication concept from the voice communication. So what components are required for voice communication to take place? So on the major hand, these four components are required to establish a voice communication. If we are referring it as a voice communication, then we are specifically talking about the humans. So to establish a voice communication, these four components are required. There must be a sender who transmits the data. There must be a receiver who receives the transmitted data from the sender. There must be a medium. There must be a connection through which the transmitted data travels, or through which these two humans are connected. And there must be a information, there must be a message from the sender that is to be transmitted to the receiver. So on the major hand, these four components are required. What will be these four components? Sender, receiver, medium, and information. Now let's assume a scenario and try to answer it by your thinking, by your understanding. Does communication possible with only one human? That means let us consider a scenario where there is only one human who is a sender and also a receiver. He has a message to send, and both his role of sending and receiving is connected via medium. And you better know that to establish a voice communication, the medium must be air. So does communication possible with only one human? Think. Yes, the communication will be possible. How it will be possible? The communication will only be possible if and only if the sending and receiving equipments are different. That means if there is a single human, but the single human has a different sending equipment, a different sending component, and different receiving component, then he can send the message from his sending component. His sending component and receiving components are connected via medium, and there is an information. So communication will be established. In the terms of networking, we call this as a loopback communication, internal loopback communication. So in the internal loopback communication, the sender and receiving parties are same. Now assume another scenario where these four components are present. That means there is a sender, there is a receiver, sender and receiver both are connected on a medium, and the sender has an information to be conveyed to the receiver. Thus, these four components are sufficient to establish communication? Think. No. The main reason is whatever the sender is sending, the receiver has to receive. I am repeating this sentence again. Whatever the sender is sending, the receiver has to receive. To understand this sentence in a better way, let's assume an example. Suppose there is a computer network teacher who has to deliver a lecture. He enters in a class where the students are waiting to attend the network class. Teacher delivers the lecture and students successfully attend that lecture. Thus communication is achieved? Yes, because whatever the teacher was delivering, the students are attending, the students are capturing, the students are receiving that. That means whatever the sender was sending, the receiver was receiving. That means the communication was established. Now let us assume another scenario for the same teacher. Now assume the same teacher is standing on the main gate of his institute and start delivering lecture. Thus communication will be established. Assume the teacher is a sender. Teacher has a lecture, a message to deliver. There must be some receiver on the gate. Both the sender and receivers are connected with a medium, that is air. So if the teacher delivers his lecture on the main gate of his institute, the communication will be established? No. Why? Because no one is listening him. He is delivering the lecture, but no one is listening him. But in the class, every student was listening him. So in the second scenario, whatever the sender was sending, the receiver was not receiving. So the communication was established in first scenario, where the students are listening to teacher. But the communication is not established in the second scenario where this teacher was delivering the lecture on the main gate. That means why the communication is established in the first scenario? Because the students are bounded to receive the lecture given by the teacher. But on the main gate, there was no such foundation. So to establish a communication, there must be a foundation between the two parties. And what is that foundation? In the simplest form, what we have discussed, whatever the sender will send, the receiver has to receive. So the communication can only be achieved if apart from these four major components, there is another component which is called as foundation, agreement, or in best terminology, it is called as protocol. So what is a protocol? A protocol is a set of rules and regulations that defines communication. And what are those rules and regulations? Some of them are what data needs to be sent, how data is to be sent, when data is to be sent, how fast the data is to be sent. If the data is to be sent, what will be the format of the data? So the syntax, semantics, and the timings are defined by the protocol. So to establish a voice communication, we require 5 components now. And what are these 5 components? Sender and receiver, medium, message, and a protocol. So to establish a voice communication, we require 5 components. So to establish a data communication, we require the same, the 5 components. But what we'll do, we analyze the voice communication and we'll define the data communication. So what we'll do, if if in the voice communication the sender and receivers are human, that means in the data communication the sender and receivers are must be electrical devices. If in the voice communication medium is wireless air, in data communication medium can be wired or wireless. If in the voice communication the message is in the form of verbal and non-verbal, in data communication the message is in the form of bits and signal. And the protocol is same as in the both the case. So to establish any communication, we require at least these 5 components. We require more components than this, which we are going to discuss in the later lecture. But to establish the communication on the minimum hand, we require these 5 components. And what are these 5 components? Are sender, receiver, medium, message, and protocol. So to draw the conclusion, minimum 2 devices are required, except for the exceptional case of the loopback. Minimum 2 devices are required for establishing a communication. The devices may be geographically located anywhere, but both the devices must be connected with a medium. Since both the devices are able to communicate, they can exchange and share information and resources. So as we have seen, if the devices are able to exchange the information, they are in connected state. They can communicate. So if they are connected, they must be in a network. So what exactly is the network? A network consists of 2 or more devices connected together in such a way so that they can communicate and share resources, which can be information. So in simplest form, we can say that a network is a collection of devices and communicating links. To understand, if we use the terminology communicating links, that means the link, the cable, the medium which we are using is able to communicate. And if it is able to communicate, all the 5 components are present there. So what we have defined in the simplest form, a network is a collection of devices and communicating links. So what can be devices? Devices could be CPU, monitor, other peripheral devices, or some networking equipments. So when you read the book, you will find that in some books, devices are referred as nodes and the medium is referred as link, and which is very common terminology. So why networking? To allow the exchange of information, to share the resources, to share information, and to have the centralized administration and support. We require networking. Thus, we can have a numerous definitions of the network. But again, on the simplest, we'll memorize only one definition, that network is a collection of nodes and communicating links. Only merely saying by this, we have achieved all the 5 components that required to establish a communication. So I'm again telling you, the network is a collection of nodes and communicating links. Now, we have said the network consists of 2 or more devices connected together in such a way so that they can communicate and share it. So what is this? What is the terminology connect means? So in the networking, we have 2 types of connection strategies. One is point to point and the other is multi-point. What exactly is point to point? So you will find a numerous definition in the textbook, in the other resources, some e-resources. But on this simple hand, if we need to understand what is the point to point connection, what is the best definition for it will be when one communication link, when one wire, when one cable, when one medium, when one link is connected with only two devices, with only two devices. That means you cannot say the definition in the other way. That means you cannot say when two devices are connected with one cable. You need to say the point to point connection will be occur when one communication link is connected with only two devices. It is known as point to point connection. When one communication link is connected with more than two devices, it is known as point to point. It is known as multi point connection. So point to point, one communication link is connected with only two devices, and in multi point, one communication link is connected with more than two devices. So in the next lecture, we will be discussing different types of network that can be formed using different mechanisms. Like based on the transmission media, we can have the wired or wireless network. Based on the network size, we can have the LAN, MAN, and WAN. That means local area network, metropolitan area network, and wide area network. Based on the management method, we can have the peer-to-peer network or the client-server network. Based on topology, we could have bus, star, ring, mesh, or hybrid network. And based on the data flow direction, we could have simplex, half duplex, and full duplex network, which we are going to discuss in the next lecture. So to summarize, we understand the definition and the concept of communication. I'm again repeating the definition of communication. Communication is the way of exchange of information between any two parties. So we understand the definition and the concept of communication. We explored that there are necessity of five major components: sender, receiver, medium, message, and protocol to establish communication between any two devices. We see and we discussed the different definitions of the network, but on the simplest way, we conclude that network is a collection of node and communicating links. And we have gone through different connection strategies like point to point and multi point connection. We will have more discussion on doubt clearing session in the next lecture. And I request you all to kindly go through this video again and again and be ready with your questions in the lecture. Thank you.